So Alex Becker has just dropped his official meme coin plan, the latest update. I'm going to fill you in on exactly what this large thread means. We're going to walk through, including the updates with Liquidity, which is very interesting. Why this is important is because Becker thinks that if you can get a large allocation into his meme coin, it could be worth about $100,000 and you get it completely free as an airdrop. Or if you get a smaller allocation, it could be worth, we'll talk about the valuations in this video as well, about $10,000. Of which, if the market holds up and Becker plans to launch it in the heat of the banana zone, the exponential parabola that we're all been waiting for, I do believe these numbers could be accurate. So let's jump in. Before we do, if you're over on X, or if you're not, if you're here watching me on YouTube, jump over to X. I'll put it in the description below. Come and give me a follow. I'm currently doing a $2,000 US giveaway. You can do whatever you want with this $2,000. We're choosing 4 people to win $500 US. On August 15th, we are drawing it. You must be following me. You must retweet this post and you must like this post that is pinned to my profile. I also have really cool content over on X. So come give me a follow over there. Now let's jump in to the good stuff. The hot sauce that Becker is dropping. He says, the official meme coin drop plan, like for 10 times cool points. Yes, 10 times. What are cool points? Well, he says that the more cool points you rack up, the more allocation you're going to get into his meme coin. He says he has an AI that can literally scrape social media, both YouTube and on X, and figure out who is engaging with these posts and give them a higher allocation, or a higher chance of allocation, should I say. We'll get into that in a second. If you want full details, he says it's on his website. It says in too long, don't read format, but honestly, it's way more complicated on his website. So this clears it up here in this post way more, in my head at least. He says, as Ethereum crosses to an all-time high, not quite, 4,800 is all-time high. I think we're sitting about 4,300 US. As I said it would, and he tips his fedora, it's time to give you a clear-cut picture on how this absolute circus of a meme coin launch is going to go down. I will be dropping this at what I think is peak alt season. Really important to note here. If you launch a meme coin, Becker, even like Elon Musk might be the only exception, an influencer who can almost make his own bull market. But if any influencer, apart from Elon or Trump, tries to launch a coin into a bear market, into a slow market, into a low fear and greed index, it's not going to do well. It's going to fizzle, no early momentum. It's going to die and never bounce back up. Becker knows this. Becker knows this is the #1 factor on how high his token can go. And therefore, he's pledging. He's going to try and time this, and he has the ability to. It's his meme coin. He can drop it whenever he wants. It doesn't take a lot to drop a meme coin, literally a couple of minutes of organizing. And he's going to do it when the market is red hot. As much fun as it would be to drop this next week, peak FOMO isn't here yet. In peak FOMO, yeah, you wouldn't shock me if this thing went past $1 billion in peak FOMO if the tokenomics are done right, which we'll get into. He said, I think everyone that gets on this whitelist or gets on an allocation wants this to be as big as possible. So I'll be waiting for when I think that moment is. Probably after $4,500 to $5,000 per Ethereum, which funny enough, he was telling us the whole time he was going to drop this at 3,500 ETH. But to his point, even though ETH absolutely had a crazy week or crazy couple of weeks where it's run up, I think the low was about 1,800 and now it's back at 4,300. So it's done more than a 2x and a lot of us has made a lot of money on it. That money has not trickled all the way down to the low caps and the memes yet. And that's what Becker is waiting for. He also says we still have 7 to 10 large allocation spots worth about $100,000 each at 100 mil market cap and 50-ish smaller allocations worth about 10K at a 100 mil market cap. Now, if you do go over to his website, you can scroll down to the bottom and you can see the wallets that have already qualified for these allocations. Now, if you don't get one of these allocations, you can still get the meme coin when it drops. I'll tell you about that in a second. But basically, if you're solving the puzzles and the fun experiences that he's dropping on Twitter, you get a percentage of these tokens already allocated to your wallet. And you can see you can do the mini ones or the large ones. The large ones are obviously worth 10 times what the mini ones are worth. And he says if you want to apply for these, join his live Twitch streams, which I've joined one of those in the past. It was not a pleasant experience, but it was hilarious. Or join him on Twitter over the next few weeks. So you can see there is still time before this drops. If you're looking for the 10 to 100K allocation, go and make sure you're following him on Twitter. Make sure you're following him closely on Twitch. The way I give these out will be total unorganized mess. He's not trying to make this easy for anyone. He's literally handing out free money. Also, I do not guarantee any market cap whatsoever. He keeps saying, estimating the $100 million market cap, and that's how he's estimating his allocations. But of course, this thing could go to a $5 million market cap and then crash, especially because he's changing up the way the liquidity and he's changing up the way the tokenomics work to a normal meme coin. So it is really a big question mark. This could go way better than a normal meme launch, or I wouldn't be shocked if it went worse based on what is going on. We'll get to that in just a second. He's only using 100 million as a benchmark because way less hyped coins from way small influencers have done way more. Very true. Leading up to the launch, I'll do a whitelist drop. This will be 5,000 to 10,000 addresses. Okay, so this is the next way to get it. If you're not part of the 110 people in the initial golden allocation, you can get onto the whitelist, very much like the old NFTs, where you had to put your wallet on a list that was approved to be able to mint the NFT. You are putting, you're getting a wallet address, and we'll talk more about that in a second, and you are submitting that to get an airdrop allocation. This will be obviously way less than the mini and the cipher allocations, the golden ones we talked about. It's probably going to be 1% of the big one. And this will be you basically applying to get some of the airdrop, and the airdrop will be free. You would not have to pay for this. You should use your most active, longest history wallet. Here is a big insight and a big clue. He does not want someone like me or someone like you, any cheeky dog out there, to literally make 300 wallets, apply for the meme coin, get 300 allocations, and then dump it onto the market and crush this whole thing. And so to get around that, not only do you need an active long history wallet that you can't fake, because if it's around in 2021, well, and it's going to be a Solana wallet, by the way. This is going to be launched on Solana. You can't fake that. And also you'll apply with your X account. So you can't have 300 real X accounts. At least that's going to be really hard to do. And so he's trying to weed out all the bots and all the people who are trying to farm this airdrop. Engagement and being cool will likely matter. Here he says likely matter, because I'm still skeptical that these cool points will matter. But he says doubt at your own risk. So engage if you want to, not take that risk yourself. He says, we'll then take the 10,000 highest ranked addresses by various criteria listed above here that we just went through. Again, your X account and social wallet history deeply matters. That's what the criteria is. And there's going to be 10,000 of those whitelist allocations. So that's a lot of people getting airdropped this token. By all means, try to cheat when applying. Many will, but we've built a pretty advanced AI to detect any attempts, and you'll likely just get yourself banned. I'll then clearly state the drop time and how it will work after the whitelist is fully collected. So once we got 10,000 of us all loaded up onto the whitelist, which comes after the 110 people get their massive allocation. So then we're going to listen for the drop time and how it will work. Now, this is where the liquidity comes into play. He says, when we drop, 5 to 10% of the coins will be held. So basically, let's take 10%. He's saying 90% of tokens will be allocated between the 10,000, 110 people. That's golden allocations and the whitelist allocations. And then the extra 10% of the tokens will be held by a liquidity pool, a liquidity provider. At the 30 and 60 day mark, so 1 month in and 2 months in, these coins will then be distributed to the top 1,000 liquidity providers of the coin. Now, this is actually very interesting. I've never seen this done before. So he's taking that 10% of allocation, and what happens is it goes into a liquidity pool, because for people to have to buy into this coin, you need to basically stake it against Solana or any other common crypto for people to figure out what price it is and trade into it. But he's saying he wants to have the coin to have liquidity, but any early providing of it, if he put in the 10% and he controlled that wallet that had the liquidity pool, will mean that people will accuse him of having insiders or try to hold it for profit. Liquidity has to be crowdsourced and up to the holder. So he's incentivizing people like us to provide liquidity so other people can come in and out and buy this token, so that he doesn't have to provide liquidity, holding the keys to that wallet and therefore saying, wait, you have 10% of the supply in your control. And therefore, he thinks this token is going to be a long-term token, because this could honestly be a real flash in the pan, or it could be massive. Like, I feel like there's going to be people who move in, make 7 figures in like 2 days because everyone else is slower than them, and then get out, and this token could crash 1 week, 2 weeks from now, because there's no promise that it's going to do well long-term. Unless it's a really funny or killer meme, there's going to be a lot of sell pressure, because there's going to be 10,000 people with allocation not looking forward to anything, all waiting to sell this token. So I'm dubious. I'm hesitant to hold for a long time. I'd be hesitant personally to provide liquidity, because I don't want to have to ride this token out 30 and 60 days. That seems like a long time. But I might be really wrong. This could be the next $10 billion meme coin that goes absolutely nuclear, and these guys are literally making $10 million just providing liquidity and then getting rewarded with that 10% of token as they come onto the market. Becker says, as I stated, he'll never hold or profit or trade this coin. Zero accountability after launch. He's literally just basically throwing the fireworks into the crowd, being like, guys, there's gold bars in those fireworks. Try not to get burned. Most of us are going to get burned. Some of us are going to find the gold bars. Becker doesn't care. He wants to literally, what does he say? Pull up a lawn chair and see what happens next. I'm going for the most fair PvP meme drop in history. He's basically throwing the chickens into the chicken fight and then watching from the sidelines with his popcorn. He finishes with this hilarious photo of himself holding a gun, looking at this crap coin, as they say, and he's in some form of arena. It says, hugs and kisses, may the odds ever be in your favor. It really is sort of like a Hunger Game thing where probably 5% of people are going to come out on top of this, and 95% of people are going to throw money in. Some people, I've seen this before so many times, I'm seeing it a lot as the market picks up again. They'll literally take 5 grand, 25 grand, sometimes even 200 grand. I've seen this with 200 grand. Someone's like life savings. They hear the name of a token, it's not even the right token, and they'll throw it straight into that. So please make sure you're doing your research. If you want more info at any time, obviously hit the subscribe button here, but come and follow me on Twitter as well, and you could win $500, which could be more than you make from the Becker allocation. So come, I'll link that in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.